Welcome, YouTubers, to my channel. This is the third and final addition to this collection, the Monkey's Paw. I know many of you saying, wait a minute, the Monkey's Paw is not by Egar A Poe. And funny enough, when I was doing research to do this project, I discovered it wasn't, and it confused me because I always thought it was. And the reason I thought it was is because apparently the Monkey's Paw is always paired with the raven and the telltale heart. So even though it's not by Egar A Poe, I had to do it as part of this collection since it's another story that I had enjoyed. So here's the Monkey's Paw in a shadow box. And as you can see with all of them, it does light up. And this is how I did it. I hope you enjoy. As always, happy crafting. Okay, so for the Monkey Paw, I bought a set of these plastic cans from Temu, but you can make your own using Q-tips. If you'd like a tutorial on how to do that, please comment below. Also, for the stand, I have this cork board, which is basically the top of a candle, but you can use any type of cork board. I've hollowed out the center so that the hand basically sits in there. So I'm going to set it aside and start preparing the Monkey Paw. For that, you need some Mache paste and some toilet paper. And basically, set it here. Basically, you're going to Mache paste it. Let the paper towel wrinkle. You don't want it to be too flat. You want it to wrinkle some. And now we let it dry. Okay, so for the Monkey Paw, we are going to place our picture inside, and I printed out a picture of the Monkey Paw that's on our line and part of the story. Now, I'm going to take some glue and put it inside. This is merely Elmers glue and water mixed. Now, once I have it inside, I'll take my bone knife . Make sure there's no bubbles. And then I am going to take my decoupage glue and go over it. And we're going to let that dry. Okay, now we're going to paint our stand black. Now you could paint the whole stand, but I'm going to leave the bottom since you can't see the bottom. And we're going to let that dry. So our monkey paw is dry. Now we're going to paint it black. Okay, so now that our monkey paw is painted black, we're going to let it dry. Okay, so I'm going to take our cork stand and a little bit of gold. And I'm going to stipple. I think that's what it's called, but just tap the gold on there. And then we're going to let it dry. So our monkey paw is dry, and now I want to add some more texture. I've seen this process done with baking soda, but I tried to avoid anything that will attract vermin like mice. So this is fake snow. You get it around Christmas time. And some black paint, although I think I may have done a little too much snow. There we go. And some black paint. Mix it up. And we're going to add it to our monkey paw. Now, this is an experiment. I have never done this before, so hopefully it'll work out. And I am not only putting it randomly where I think it should go, but any spots that I see that the black paint didn't quite reach, I'm adding this. And we're going to let that dry. So, our monkey paw is dry, and taking a sponge and some brown and white to mix in a bit of a lighter brown, say about a medium brown. I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to let that dry. So now I'm going to mix some black and some white. To make a medium gray color. And I'm going to lightly go over it with a sponge with the gray color. And then we let that dry. So now I'm going to take a much lighter gray and an old brush, and I'm just going to lightly dab a little bit on the raised areas. And if you get any part where you get a little too much white, like I did here, just take a napkin and gently wipe it off. And once again, we're going to let it dry. So, now that it's dry, we're going to take our stand, which we dry brushed with gold. We're going to fill it with hot glue. And we're going to put our hand inside. We're going to let that glue set, and once it sets, we are going to add some graveyard moss around the edge so you can't see the hot glue. Okay, so now we're going to add our graveyard moss. Now we're going to grab our shadow box and we're going to glue our hands in our shadow box. Now I've glued around the base to give it some strength. And I'm going to take some more of this graveyard moss. And I'm going to glue some graveyard moss inside. Now let's turn on the light. See if there's anywhere where we need to add more little gaps that you don't like. I see a few here. And so this is how it looks. Okay, so I had some creepy cloth, but I couldn't find it, so I'm going to use this leftover spider web from my Halloween decorations, and I'm going to glue it a little bit here in the corner. And then I'm going to spread it down a little bit. Don't want too much. Make it look like there's cobwebs inside. And I'm going to take another smaller piece. And I'm going to attach some right here. I see an area on this that I don't like, so I'm going to take some of this graveyard moss, put it there, and dot right here on the front. And here we go. Now, just like before, I use craft glue to put in the plastic to the frame and the frame on the shadow box. And now I'm going to put my little bits and bobs on that I did with air dried clay. I painted it black and then I dry brushed it with gold. And I'm just going to set them where I want them. And then I will use craft glue to glue them on. Now this is completely optional, or you can use whatever you want to decorate your shadow box. And now we are finished. And we have our monkey paw in a shadow box.